Welcome to EDN113, Living and Learning with Technology, Session 6B, Reflective Practice. This week we spent time using serious games, screencasting, and reflective tools. We will be looking at the pedagogy on serious gaming and the reflective practice. What is reflection? According to Dewey and Sellers and other experts, reflection is the act of carefully considering one's knowledge, beliefs, goals, and practices, whilst questioning their basis and their implications with the intent of gaining deeper understanding or insight that leads to improvement of professional practice and enhancing of student learning. Sellers further said that reflection involves deliberate, purposeful, metacognitive thinking and action. This implies that as educators, we should not only encourage our students to engage in reflection, but we also should involve ourselves in reflection, as it will enable us to scrutinize and question our own practice in order to improve it. Looking at Kolb's experimental learning cycle, we can see that reflection is embedded in the learning cycle. Thus, reflection is not merely a discussion or imagining of possible scenarios. No, reflection is grounded in one's life experiences. You can only reflect on what you have experienced. Kolb's model helps us to understand that reflection is not a standalone activity, but part of a whole learning process. Sean identified two types of reflection. Firstly, he talked about reflection in action. Now, reflection in action means that you are actually thinking about your actions while you are carrying them out. Thus, you are constantly improving or improvising to address a fluid circumstance. While you were creating your walkthrough of a serious gaming platform, addressing the questions you were asked to do, you were actually performing reflection in action. Now, the second type of reflection Sean identified was reflection on action. Now, reflection on action takes place after the action is completed. So for our reflection on action, we will undertake a variation of the World Cafe approach. We will answer the 5 reflective questions set out by the World Cafe. Firstly, remember. And the remember question that you need to answer this week is, what online console games have you played over the last 5 years? The next question is understanding. And our question of understanding would be, how would you explain to parents or guardians the reason for including serious games in the classroom? Third question, on applying. Our applying question would be, how could you use serious games with your teaching group or discipline? Number 4, analyzing. Apart from the content material, what other skills and learning is available in serious gaming? Think about your 21st century skills. And lastly, evaluation or evaluating. What are the positives and negatives of using serious games in the classroom? So those are the questions we will be addressing to do our reflection on action. How will we do this? Each student will individually answer these questions on the Linoid canvases prepared by their tutors. You will find the canvases on the LMS under class canvases. You go to your external group and your tutor would have prepared the pages for you already. Click on the Remember page and you'll find it'll take you to the Linoid page where you have to put your sticky notes down with your answers. The Remember question is posted on the Remember page for easy understanding of what the question is that you need to answer. Each canvas will only address one question, so you'll have to assess all 5 canvases to answer all 5 questions. This activity provides you with the opportunity to do reflection on action. Now let's look how the World Cafe questions align with Bloom's taxonomy. As you can see, the World Cafe addresses the first 5 levels of Bloom's taxonomy. The aspect of creating was addressed during the creating of your walkthrough. So at the end of this session, you would have experienced reflection in action as well as reflection on action, and you would have addressed all 6 levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Now take a minute and think, how does ICT facilitate meaningful learning in this context of gaming and reflective practice? Now, our final activity, you are required to reflect on everything that you've done and learned throughout session 6. To do this, you are required to complete a what, so what now table, which you will find on the LMS under session 6. This document, once completed, should be uploaded to your class shared Google Drive under the folder session 6. In summary, firstly, you have to create your walkthrough of the serious game and post the URL on the LMS. Secondly, you need to answer the World Cafe questions on Lenoid. And lastly, you have to complete the what, so what now activity and upload it to the class shared Google Drive. Now lastly, I'm just going to quickly share with you. Next week, there's no class due to the study break, and session 7 activities will be activated during the week of the 30th of April, when we will be looking at virtual museums. During session 7, you will take turns to facilitate an online discussion about virtual museums with your group members. This concludes our session 6 workshop. Good luck with your assignment 1C, and remember, it needs to be uploaded to the LMS no later than the 30th of April at 9 in the morning.